United Airlines, Chicago face continued wrath over passenger removal. The incident risks a backlash against United from passengers who could boycott the airline as the busy summer travel season is about to begin. For Chicago, it is another public relations nightmare. Several minutes after a passenger recorded a video watched around the world that showed security officers dragging another passenger off an overbooked United Express flight at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport, a smaller snippet of video showed an even more troubling scene. There stood the passenger who had been dragged on his back to the front of the plane, appearing dazed as he spoke through bloody lips and blood that had spilled onto his chin. "I want to go home. I want to go home," he said. The treatment of the passenger on Sunday night prompted outrage and scorn on social media, and anger among some of the passengers on the flight as the unidentified man was evicted. Twitter users used the platform to poke fun at the airline's tactics. "We overbooked, but you pay the price. We put the hospital in hospitality, and we'll drag you all over the world" are among the faux slogans being offered up on social media under #New United Airlines mottos. The incident risks a backlash against United from passengers who could boycott the airline as the busy summer travel season is about to begin. For Chicago, it is another public relations nightmare, adding to its reputation as a city unable to curb a crime wave in some neighborhoods, which U.S. President Donald Trump has highlighted with critical tweets. United Continental Holdings tumbled early Tuesday. The stock dropped as much as 6.3% before paring the loss and trading to 7% lower at 7:27 a.m. in New York. The embarrassing incident spiraled out of control from a common air travel issue, an overbooked flight. United was trying to make room for 4 employees of the partner airline, meaning 4 people had to get off the flight to Louisville. At first, the airline asked for volunteers, offering $400, and then when that didn't work, $800 per passenger to relinquish a seat. When no one voluntarily came forward, United selected 4 passengers at random. 3 deplaned, but the 4th, a man who said he was a doctor and needed to get home to treat patients on Monday, refused. 3 men, identified later as City Aviation Department security officers, got on the plane. 2 officers tried to reason with the man before a third came aboard and pointed at the man, basically saying, "Sir, you have to get off the plane," said Tyler Bridges, a passenger whose wife, Audrey D. Bridges, posted a video on Facebook. One of the security officers could be seen grabbing the screaming man from his window seat, across the armrest, and dragging him down the aisle by his arms. Other passengers on flight 3411 are heard saying, "Please, my God, what are you doing? This is wrong, look at what you did to him," and busted his lip. "We almost felt like we were being taken hostage," said Tyler Bridges. "We were stuck there. You can't do anything as a traveler. You're relying on the airline." On Monday, United Chief Executive Officer Oscar Munoz apologized for having to reaccommodate these customers. In an emailed statement, he said the airline is conducting a review and seeks to resolve the matter with the man who was dragged off the airplane. Munoz's response, however, didn't satisfy Senator Robert Menendez, a New Jersey Democrat, who called the incident disturbing. In Munoz's statement, an empty apology. Eleanor Holmes Norton of the District of Columbia, a non-voting House Democrat, called for congressional hearings. In a subsequent internal message sent to United employees Monday evening, a copy of which the airline provided Bloomberg News, Munoz was less contrite. He alleged that the passenger became disruptive and belligerent after being repeatedly asked to leave the plane, and that the man later attempted to run back onto the aircraft after being forcibly removed. Munoz said that the facts and circumstances are still evolving, especially with respect to why this customer defied Chicago aviation security officers the way he did. Chicago's aviation department said the security officer who grabbed the passenger had been placed on leave. The incident on United Flight 3411 was not in accordance with our standard operating procedure, and the actions of the aviation security officer are obviously not condoned by the department said in a statement. After a 3-hour delay, United Express Flight 3411 took off without the man aboard. Airlines are allowed to sell more tickets than seats on the plane, and they routinely overbook flights because some people do not show up. It is not unusual for airlines to offer travel vouchers to encourage people to give up their seats, and there are no rules for the process. When an airline demands that a passenger give up a seat, the airline is required to pay double the passenger's one-way fare, up to $675, provided the passenger is put on a flight that arrives within 1 to 2 hours of the original. The compensation rises to 4 times the ticket price, up to $1,350, for longer delays. When they bump passengers, airlines are required to give those passengers a written description of their compensation rights. Last year, United forced 3,765 people off oversold flights, and another 62,895 United passengers volunteered to give up their seats, probably in exchange for travel vouchers. That is out of more than 86 million people who boarded a United flight in 2016, according to government figures. United ranks in the middle of U.S. carriers when it comes to bumping passengers. ExpressJet, which operates flights under the United Express, American Eagle, and Delta Connection names, had the highest rate of bumping passengers last year. Among the largest carriers, Southwest Airlines had the highest rate, followed by JetBlue Airways.